Once I start this, it's hard to see if people are trying to join. There we go. Okay, now it's working. Okay, guys. So hold on. Doesn't let me see my mouse here. Okay, I got it. So our topic tonight, guys, is on exercise, which this is actually a pretty big topic that I felt like, we could really break this down into a lot of different segments, actually. So we're going to kind of just touch on a lot of different areas of exercise, and then feel free to, go back and, ask some questions. There's a chat box. Feel free to ask questions in there too. But this is a very, again, broad topic when we talk about exercise. And I personally, as a personal trainer and someone that's been in the industry for a very long time, I am always an advocate on really encouraging people to make sure they're really understanding that stay away from trends, stay away from fads, get back to the basics, just like with our overall nutrition and our lifestyle. And I remember when I first started teaching classes and getting, involved with getting different certifications, there was one certification I took, and I remember that the instructor said, that 50% of your results is diet and 50% is exercise. And that stuck with me for several decades, actually. And then research has now totally proved that wrong. And they are saying that actually 80% of your nutrition is what is going to help give you results. So this is a very important fact to note, because we can work out as hard as we want, but if we're not mixing the components together, we're not going to be incorporating that overall effect of what we're trying to work for, whatever our goals are. So, and I think that this is very interesting that we don't have to work out, guys, hours a day. So some of you that, are in the gym for an hour or 2 hours a day, it doesn't mean necessarily you're going to have that much better benefits. They're finding that even 20 minutes a day that you're going to notice an improvement in your health. And this is kind of interesting. If you see the colors in your brain and how it changes with activity, I think this is very interesting to show that even 20 minutes of walking triggers endorphins. So that's huge. So we don't need to necessarily be killing ourselves to get a great workout. And how many times do we hear people complaining about fatigue and chronic fatigue and diabetes and, all of these things? And so much of this could be prevented just by doing simple things like moving more. I love this graphic on the screen talking about moving more, and the tips of helping you to really look at the different steps of how we can incorporate better health. So I always like to kind of highlight these because there's probably one of these that you might be neglecting. So when you look at your overall workouts, one of the tips that I always am telling people, guys, is number one, the reason I have been teaching so long is because I believe it's variety. 100% mix up your workouts. Do not walk every day of the week. Don't lift weights every day of the week. And with a combination is what's going to help you to prevent injuries long term, but also noticing some of these other things. How are you breathing? How are you eating? How do you refuel your body? Sleeping should be incorporated with this. How are you hydrating? And making sure you're drinking enough water. We just finished a big hydration challenge, and it was pretty eye opening to even realize how much I see somebody drinking water. Mine here too, of how we don't always carry our water with us. That is just a simple thing, guys. It's not really when you're exercising you should be drinking. It's actually before and the night before, and thinking about in advance carrying your water with you. So when you're going somewhere, bring your water with you. That's very, very important. And when we're talking about the different types of exercise, there's lots of different things we want to incorporate, and we'll get into that in just a second. But these are some of the things that we're finding, especially right now, is a big concern because we are home so much more, that we are noticing definitely the pandemic really affecting people's health. And this is from the American Council on Exercise, that they are saying we are just beginning to see some of the mental aspects of what this is doing to us, but we are going to see in the next year the physical aspects increasing significantly. And that's including things like heart attacks and strokes, because people are stressed, they're not moving as much, and they don't know what to do for exercise. So we need to get our thought process in the way of, it doesn't matter if your gym is open. It doesn't matter if you don't want to be around people. You can still exercise. So home-based exercise can be just as beneficial as going to a gym. It's a matter of the mental. You've got to tell yourself you can do this. And when we look at our workouts, I want you to really emphasize when I talked about variety, these components need to be incorporated into your workouts. endurance, muscular endurance, we got our cardio, we got our muscular endurance, we have our muscular strength, and we have our flexibility. So this is actually a great thing to take a picture of, the fit principle. And this is something that's been around for many years that I still think is an important graphic that kind of gives a great overview of some of the things that we may be lacking. I'd have to say for most of the people that I tend to talk to that are just, really loving working out, they're trying to further their goals, but the one thing they do not do is flexibility. I think that's probably the biggest area I see the most lack of importance for people. They want to work out hard and then they got to leave and rush on for the rest of their day. But guys, if you don't stretch, you're going to notice you don't move so well. Your range of motion gets shorter. Things will happen. And that's how we end up with injuries later. So figure out which of these components are you maybe lacking. And we talk about strength training. This is kind of interesting that they say basically that after the age of 30, you can lose up to 5% of your muscle mass per decade. So that's kind of sad, guys. So after the age of 30, you are losing muscle mass whether you want to or not. So you need to be doing weights, you need to be doing strength training. So make sure you're incorporating that into your routine also. So here's a great little picture that kind of goes through and helps you see, some of the benefits, guys, of just a few in a fun graphic way of why we need to make sure we are moving more. It goes beyond how we look. It's not all about physical. There's so much more from your mental health. We talk about muscle, we talk about osteoporosis, helping you with sleep, fibromyalgia. How many times do people not want to exercise because they are in pain? But believe it or not, guys, if you can start to move more, you will feel better. It's proven, and I can guarantee you it's just a matter of getting out of your comfort zone. We talked about hydration really fast, and I always like to highlight that when we are drinking a lot of water, we do want to make sure it's clean water. So be really cautious of the types of, even maybe have your water checked. That's a great tip. These water pitchers are all awesome. We are big fans of the Get Clean pitcher because it does remove contaminants, but even bottled water, that's not necessarily your cleanest water. So, get to know what options are out there to make sure you are really hydrating in the right way. So, guys, there's a whole lot of time we can spend here on talking about, what we can use to fuel before, during, after. And we want to first of all highlight that we really want to be careful of a lot of the things that we are using product wise, because if we're trying to exercise and do good for things for our body, we also want to think about what we're putting into our bodies. So when we look at pre-workouts, and we're going to have Sarah Rogan to share with us here in just a second a couple, things that she really loves to use. But um, I've been hearing a lot of people lately that have really been into things like shot blocks. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those, but people that they want this pre-energy quick boost. It's a really popular thing right now. And unfortunately, they don't know that it causes a lot of gastrointestinal issues. So people don't realize why they're cramping up during the workouts, they're having diarrhea. It doesn't really absorb. So it can cause a lot of issues that you might not realize is coming from that product you're trying to use to help your workout. So we want to know that there are definitely better options that we know are safe and that actually do what they're supposed to. And that's a couple of these things we're going to talk about here. So Sarah, I'm actually going to have you take over here for a little bit and share a little bit about the, what you like to use for hydration and energy for your workouts.
Okay. I can't see myself, so you guys have to let me know if I'm on.
You're good. I see you.
I don't know why I can't get it to work. So I was going to touch on a few things, and I'll just do two of them now. The picture on Amanda's screen, the hydrate. This thing is a daily staple in my life and also my boys' life. My three boys and my husband, I'll take it too. But I would say probably about a year ago, I was just feeling like I couldn't have good workouts, more than like twice a week. And a lot, some of that is diet and stuff like that. But I was actually talking with a personal trainer and she asked about hydration and what I was doing. And I said, oh, water here, blah, blah, blah. And she said I needed to replace electrolytes better. I'm like, okay, well, I have this Shaklee product I'm going to try that my friend recommended, Amanda. This thing was a game changer for me. I don't know all the science behind it, exactly what it's doing, and that drives me crazy a little bit. But I think just replacing the electrolytes and getting the right carbohydrates that this provides, I was recovering better. And I felt better during the day. Like, I think I was just dehydrated and depleted. And this really made a difference. And when I don't have it during a workout, I can totally tell that day and especially the next day or the next workout. So this is it's I'm kind of addicted to it, but in a good way. It just, you see Gatorade on that picture. If you guys learn what's in Gatorade and Powerade and all these drinks that we buy for ourselves and our kids, it can be really scary. So just knowing that this is a safe product that hydrates better than water and that it's safe for my kids to give them. I especially give it to my older one now who's getting a little bit older and into tougher practices like 4 times a week. And he says he feels better when he does it like during a swim meets. And I'm like, huh, yeah. So the Hydrate Plus is a staple for us. Like we always just say it's kind of like a healthy Gatorade, but a huge difference in just my energy during the day of that workout, during the workout, and then especially the day after. And then with that, can I talk about this one or no?
Yep.
So this, Amanda talked about people wanting that quick energy boost in all the products out there, the shots they do, the blocks and stuff like that. So this is the Energize, and you see on the screen there, it comes in the pouch in a little chew, or it comes in these little sticks, which is a powder. You can mix this with water. You can take it straight and just, chug it down with water. A lot of times I mix it with this Hydrate when I do an early morning workout because I'm not awake. I'm not ready to go. And this is just and I don't drink coffee. So this is just like a quick natural energy boost. Doesn't last super long. I would say for me, it takes about 15 minutes to kick in. But it makes a huge difference. I can kind of be like, oh, I'm a little more alert. My brain's ready. My body's ready. It just kind of helps me get going. But I often mix it with the Hydrate Plus when I'm doing early morning workouts. So if you're looking for just a safe, quick energy boost and not looking to do anything artificial or anything that might, I don't know, cause your heart to race and stuff like that, the Energize is a really good thing to add to your routine as well. So those are kind of two of my staples for energy before and then also during my workouts.
Perfect. Those are all great tips. And I'm just going to add on a couple other things here really fast. One thing to also note for workouts that if you are, for example, training maybe for coming up a long endurance event, that's where especially even more importance has to come into those electrolytes because you have to remember when you're sweating and as the temperature is going to increase here in Michigan, we sure hope so, that you automatically are losing more. But I also want to highlight that many of us during the winter, we do not drink like we do during the summer. So dehydration is actually really common in the winter. So it is a good thing to be having just to make sure that we are staying on top of those minerals. And that's what makes that hydrate so special. And I'm going to really quickly here, I wrote down this study because I thought this was a really great clinical study that was done on the Hydrate Plus. So they had a high intensity cycling group for 3 hours. They pushed themselves to fatigue. So they had one group that used water and they had one group that used the Hydrate. The group that after fatigue, after 3 hours, they had to see how long they could push themselves to their absolute max. The group that used the Hydrate made it 33 minutes. The group that used water made it 2 minutes. So when we talk about the importance of using electrolytes, that's powerful, guys. That is like a true testament of showing you that that is key to helping with endurance. And this is just a picture to kind of show again, third-party clinical studies that prove that this actually makes a difference, guys, for both our beginning, during, and we're going to touch on recovery here after really fast. Now, there's protein options for recovery, but we're not going to go into this too much here because that's a whole nother topic. But having ideas of things we can use, guys, of getting things into our body quickly is very important. This is one, though, I do want to spend just a little bit of time on because this has in here some of the things that basically help to pull inflammation from your body. Unfortunately, it is on back order right now, and I can't tell you how many people have asked for this now because it has become a staple now, and not even just because of their workouts, but they find it helps them to sleep, and they find that they feel better in their joints when they have a product like this. And the key thing is the tart cherry in here that basically helps to act like what boswellia does in our pain relief complex. And it is similar reaction to what ibuprofen does, is it helps as a pain blocker. So it actually will help your body to be able to endure more pain, which sounds crazy. But when you have the ability to do that, you feel so much better. And that's why taking this before bed is an awesome idea for some of us that may struggle with some options and ideas for recovery. So here's a couple of recipes for you guys. If you want to screenshot these, feel free to. But we have been sharing in our last few weeks of different Zooms some different recipes. And tonight we're focusing on, exercise. So here's a couple fun hydration smoothie options. So again, just some ideas to kind of, give you different ways. Look at some of the foods that are more hydrating, like cucumbers, for example. They're over 94% water. Like eating even more of your hydration type vegetables is a great idea to be incorporating more of, even during winter time. So, and if you guys are looking to get started, we want to make sure you do know we always try to offer different incentives. So if you're looking for, areas of your health that you're trying to work on, and this being one of them to improve your workouts, we are not saying, and I kind of want to make sure I mention this, that lots of people don't think they need to fuel their workouts. And I have definitely found that no, you do not have to. But if you want to maximize your workouts, this can be a game changer. And that's even from a 20-minute workout to, like I said, you are training for an Ironman. The goal is to be able to fuel your body to help you thinking about long term health. And that's a really big focus of what we try to incorporate with everything we do. So just to quickly mention here, guys, for you guys that want to, get a little more education, we have a team Zoom. I wanted to make sure we invite everybody to this Wednesday night. It's the same link right here, 7:30. And there's also a promotion that just launched today. So we also want to make sure you do know Greens Booster for anybody that's new. This is a great incentive. And this is another awesome way to be able to sneak in more nutrition, which is all part of your workouts, getting more good fuel to help you to be able to push through your workouts more. So, a goal, guys, is all about movement. And our goal should be definitely to keep moving. So, again, we touched on a whole lot of things here. And I mentioned in our um, and kind of our preview that I was going to give you guys a workout idea, like one of my current favorite exercises. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys here one of my current favorite ideas. And I'm all about, like I said, mixing things up, guys. So this is a good fusion of combining yoga with strength and with endurance. Now, someone that might be a little new, you can definitely use a chair, okay, or a step. And if you're really inflexible, this is also a great modification. So you would start basically in a little inversion here, and you're going to drop your head and you're going to push your hips back, and you're going to slide your leg through. So you have to use your inner thigh. You lift your leg up and through, and you take that leg and we extend it all the way up and back. And you just keep shifting from forward into a plank, into pushing the hips back and lifting the leg. So if you're on the ground, this is a whole lot harder. So on the ground, we come from lifting the hips, shooting the leg through, to lifting all the way up. So we could kind of figure out here what's a good amount of reps that we work through. But why do I like this exercise so much? If you guys look at the concept there, we've got mobility in the hip, we've got endurance in the shoulders, you have core, you have rotation, which is so good for a lot of us. We're noticing a lot of, unfortunately, sciatica because we're sitting so much, and a lot of lower back issues. We've got rotation, and we have that lift of the leg, which also gives us an inversion. So for some of you that are yoga fans, inversions are a big part of yoga because blood flow to your brain is so important to help us improving with our thinking, with giving your heart a little bit of a break. Inversions are awesome for reversing blood flow. So that gives you that by having the hips up like that. So there's a fun exercise to try, guys. You could try, I said maybe 8 to 10 reps and repeat as many times as you feel comfortable. So, all right, let's open it up for questions a minute, guys. Does anybody have anything they want to add or something to ask? Make sure you unmute yourselves, guys. So you are muted.
I do.
Sure.
What do you think, with your background, what do you think is the biggest reason people plateau? I have a couple people right now that are like, I'm working out like crazy. I'm doing a little bit of cardio, trying to get some strength in, but they're just kind of plateauing when it comes to well, I hate to say it, but the number. They're trying to lose some weight. So just what do you think is the biggest reason people plateau?
It goes right back to what I just said, Sarah, of the variety. Like
Right.
they're probably doing the same kind of workouts and they're not pushing themselves. Like they are pushing themselves, but in the same way. So they're not getting that surprise. Just like, when we talk about trying to lose weight, you got to do something to surprise yourself. Like you got to burn more calories or you got to, change how many calories you're intaking, change something. But with workouts, I find that definitely people plateau because they are not like I said, getting that variety. And look at some of the trends we see. And I don't know everybody on here as far as what they do for workouts, but like CrossFit, for example, that's a big trend right now. Still, it's very popular. And if you look at the styles of workouts, it's very much so explosive movements, power, plyometrics, a lot of jumping and impact, which is great. But if you notice over time, they also plateau because they don't have a way to keep pushing more weight. They can't do more because they're basically at their limit. So that's when you have to figure out what is something I can do to surprise myself. So even for example, let's talk about weightlifting. So let's say that you have your weights here. Sorry, somebody wants my belly button. Yeah. If you're doing, for example, lateral raise. So let's say you have your weights here and you're going nice controlled speed. People do the same speed all the time. Just by slowing it up and holding at the top, you'll be amazed at how it surprises you and how sore you will be. Like that's a simple thing, changing the speed, changing range of motion. But again, it's different, Sarah. So people a lot of times, again, oh, I ran again. I did 40 minutes and I've done that 3 times a week and I'm not noticing any changes. Well, it's time to maybe add some weights in there, look at some other things you could incorporate. So
So it's safe to say that when you talk about changing up, I know some people think, oh, well, I have a bad knee, or I'm too old, or I can't do this. I can't up the intensity. Well, it might not be, you might not have to, when you say push harder, push the intensity, it's just do something different. I think that's
exactly.
what people fall into the trap of, is like, I have to go harder and harder and harder. You don't necessarily have to go harder and break down your body, but just do something different. Like
100%.
instead of running faster and on a hill, maybe you walk, but the hill's higher. Like, stuff like that.
You got it. And maybe incorporate, okay, instead of walking 20 minutes, I'm going to jog 2 minutes and then I'm going to do push-ups for a minute. You
Yeah.
incorporate some intervals. So that's the idea is, yes, how can you mix up what you do? And I said, I think a lot of people kind of get in a rut and even working out at home, there's a lot of different workout options, but I think a lot of people will tend to steer towards getting on their treadmill, doing the same thing. But yeah, so no, that's a great question. And I think also, guys, finding, a community of people is also a really good idea. So, figure out ways that you can jump in on online workouts. You can go to, a place that has classes that, I mean, I think some people still have a hard time exercising in mass, so it might not be an option, but in the next month, we should hopefully be seeing outdoor classes again. So that will be a good thing to get people out of their, maybe normal routine. So those are always fun too. So yeah, good. Any other questions, guys, or anything to add? Maybe we totally missed something that you guys had a question about. All right. Well, I hope it was helpful, guys. So please let us know if you guys have some topics you would, like to hear about. This is our goal, is to be able to educate you guys and give you, things to think about and just different ways of doing things. So you guys go drink some water. Actually, taking water before bed is a great idea, guys. 8 ounces before bed, they say, helps your digestion. So go drink a glass of water, guys, and hopefully we'll see some of you Wednesday night for our team Zoom. So have a good night, guys.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.